What's up, Anderson? Oh yeah. What you doing up? What you doing up, man? You can come in. I put the thing. You got to work in the morning. The healthy cat was hissing and healing kitty when she tried to get in the bed with me. Oh shit! The fuck? Oh, that's right. You had to have her teeth or something fixed or something. That's not cool. Can't they all just get along? Got a jealous cat. Ugh. Pissed me off, so I quarantined her in the room. Oh, got you. I got you. Yeah, the healthy cat is jealous. Exactly. Nice. Well, isn't it the what? Wasn't it the one cat that attacked the other cat or some shit? Are they fixed? They shouldn't be fighting like that anyway. Oh shit! Ugh. Did you work today? Did you have a good day? I know. Damn, this weekend went by fast. Weekend went by hella fast. Took it easy. Cool, cool. Roxanne, what's up? Long time no see. I know we're gonna get all the late night crowd now. All the people that like to sleep, stay up late. Kitty cat, yeah, got her surgery. Yeah, I think it was her teeth, wasn't it? Had something to do with the crispy nugs. What's up? Whoa! The bulk of my money was a $60 luggage delivery for my buddy. That the lady gave me $20. Nice, nice shit. There you go. That's pretty nice. I know, dude. This weekend went by hella quick. Went by hella quick, man. I took Wednesday off, so Wednesday's the birthday. So I'll have a short work week. It's all good. I'm not working on my birthday. Fuck all that. Yep. God damn. Gonna be gumming her food, bro. What you been up to, Crispy? Haven't seen you in here in a minute. What you been up to? Just working? Oh, shit. Yeah, cooking the W-2 job. I'm working first time at the steakhouse now. Oh, nice, nice. Are you liking it? Was it worth getting the W-2 versus just doing straight gig work all the time? So I got a question for y'all. Since y'all do gig work and other channels don't seem to want to talk about it, I got a question for you guys. With the current Supreme Court decision on the abortion issue and your personal feelings about stuff, what do you guys think about these businesses such as Starbucks and others paying for their employees to go and kill their babies? What is your guys' thoughts on it? And are you willing to support these companies by delivering their orders? That's the question of the night. So instead of goofing around talking about delivering bottles of water and all kinds of other stupid shit, let's talk about real shit that goes on in life. If it doesn't come out of my money, well, that's what I'm saying. You have depending on how you feel, depending on how you feel about the situation, are you willing to take those orders from those companies? If you don't believe in the said issue, you don't, are you willing to take Starbucks orders? For example, let's just use Starbucks because Starbucks is one of the main ones. Are you willing to take their orders? Oh, I know you don't, Rob. Okay, so you don't have a problem with them supporting that particular issue. So in other words, you don't have a problem with them supporting that particular stuff. Well, that's what I'm saying. How strong is your conviction of the situation? Are you willing to not buy certain things to, you know what I'm saying? So as long as you're getting paid, you don't. Then the issue is a non-issue for you. As long as you're making money, right? Well, that depends on what you consider heinous. That depends on what you consider heinous. Right? I guess that depends on what you consider. What do you consider heinous as far as when it comes to specific companies? What do you consider heinous? If they were honest rocks, including with themselves, but I'm sure they picked a side because everyone wants to know. Nike Chamber. Okay, so you consider child labor as heinous. But here's my question: when it comes to let's talk about that. When it comes to that, if it's part of their culture to pay kids to work in their companies, or if that's part of their culture is to have kids working, is it technically heinous? Is it only heinous because we don't believe in it, or you see what I'm saying? What's up, Peaches? How you doing? The backing of sides and civil wars and African companies gain minerals and resources. Yeah. Don't ask rocks stuff and how be the be a company that is hey Ryan, what's up? Long time no see. Is Nike an American company or is it a Chinese company? But even if Nike, let's say, even if Nike, um, even if Nike outsources their products to be made somewhere else, if it's their culture to have kids working, then is it really a heinous thing? Hey, Dashing Through Life, how you doing? What you been up to, Ryan? Long time no talk, man. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what their. I'm not sure about their schooling and stuff. But this was my question, teacher, because you used to do gig work as well, or you still may do it. My question was, with the current ruling on the by the Supreme Court on the abortion issue, let's talk about it. As a gig worker, what is your mindset on companies such as Starbucks and other other food companies such as Starbucks um, paying for their employees to go do to go travel to have abortions if that's what they want to do? What is your thoughts on that? Just grinding, cool, cool. And would you be? Are you willing to support those companies that are or that are doing that? Well, no. Well, Starbucks already came out and said they would do it. So has other companies like Dick's Sporting Goods. They've already come out and said that they will pay to have they will pay their employees to travel to other places to do that. So in my personal opinion, there is no such thing as accidental pregnancy. There is no such thing as an accident. That's my personal opinion. There is no such thing as accidentally getting pregnant. It's not like you fell and tripped on somebody's dick and got pregnant. There's no such thing as accidental. I don't believe in that. Why isn't murder in jail prosecuted as severe as murder in the on the streets in some cases? Because that really depends. When you murder somebody in jail, that really depends. There could be extenuating circumstances that involve why somebody's murdered in prison. And at the end of the day, if somebody's in prison for life, what are you going to give them, another life sentence for murder? They're already in there for life. So, okay, so you wouldn't support the company that do that. Okay, but that leads to the other question I was asking. Let's say you're doing DoorDash and you know the company is doing this, would you accept DoorDash orders? Would you be willing to take money knowing that that money is being used, not the money you're getting. Well, you're getting paid by the customer, so the customer's ordering it. So would you take those orders? That was my question, or that was one of the other part of my question. Would you accept those orders because you're being paid? So no, you wouldn't. Okay, so you would strictly cut them off. Okay, cool. I know I'm bringing up the crazy shit. Okay, got you. I know. I bring up some hard questions, and you know, shit like that. So the money will be spent and the order taken anyway. So why the fuck not? Because you're facilitating. And this is my opinion. Crimson Ghost, how you doing? Because this is my opinion. Is you're facilitating the money on that end. What's your answer to those questions? My question is, I don't have a say either or. It's none. It's if somebody wants to go and do that, that's their business. Not much, man. Just chilling here, chilling late night chat session about some stuff. I would still take it because it's not my money. What do you mean get out of here with the facilitation garbage? Well, that's what it is, though. It is, right? It's still facilitating the money, right? Yeah, but it's a question of morality and stuff of that nature. That's why I'm asking. Like, are you willing to give up your moral stance on something because it involves you getting money? That's, I guess you could say it that way. See what I'm saying? So if your moral stance is you don't believe in it, you have these companies that are the money that is going to these these money that is going to these companies are facilitating it, and you're taking those orders. But you got to kind of let's see, the ghost. You kind of can't look at it like just you have no say so in the matter because at the end of the day, being that it's a state issue now or whatever the case may be, it's going you are going to have to, in some respects, vote on these issues and all that other stuff. So it does somewhat affect your life in some respects. Hey Wesley, what's up? Yeah, exactly. So, because it will at some point affect tax dollars from your state, and all that other stuff that you pay. So okay, cool. But these are just this is just stuff. I like to these are current events that affect our lives, and I think they should be talked about. Especially if you know I did put a new video out. I rehoused a new tarantula today. Not a new tarantula, but I rehoused one of my tarantulas. Yeah, you get our minds working for sure. Well, yeah, I think that's an important issue, especially with the gig work. A lot of the gig workers and stuff. I think it's an important issue because, like, where do you stand on situations like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you willing to put up with when it comes to a specific issue? If you strongly feel against an issue, are you willing to let the issue slide because you're getting paid for it? You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I pose these questions. You know, the other night, last night, yeah. Okay. Well, that whole school issue, yeah, that's something that seriously needs to be. That's something that needs to be seriously. You know. Yeah. See, Roxy, yeah. See what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of stuff that that's involved there. If it doesn't directly affect most people, they let it slide nowadays. But it doesn't have to directly affect you. It can affect you indirectly as well. You know what? Okay, let's take Illinois for example. Let's say Illinois wants to raise taxes, um, sales tax. Let's just take sales tax. Let's say Illinois decides it wants to raise sales tax to help fund programs for women looking to, let's say, have the abortion. Is that something that it affects you? It will directly affect you because these are things that are going to come up sooner or later with these states. So that might not that could directly affect you or indirectly affect you. I got you thinking, Roxy. Well, in my personal opinion, what you do with your money is your money. That's your money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, back in the house, Gig Show, definitely back in the house. Majority of the people in the United States won't act on anything unless they feel it directly affects them. Well, see, that's the thing. In my personal opinion, when it's on a federal level, it didn't affect most people. But now you got a situation where it's going back to the states, and it is going to affect more people now. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm thinking it's more. That's why I'm bringing up these kind of questions, like because it's going to affect more people now. You know what I'm saying? How you been, Gig Show? Yeah. But I just like posing questions like this. Like, yeah, we've been back in the house since the middle. I think it was June 15th. We got back in the house. So yeah, well, you have issues with you have gun right issues. You have all that shit too. So that's other shit that directly affects you. You know, a lot of the gun issues and because of where you live. So yeah, you have your gun issues in your state, your crime issues, which all that does directly affect you, I guess, in some respects, or it may not directly affect you, depending on where you live in that state. It may not directly affect you. I think the bigger issue is that the made illegal before issue is an abortion is made illegal before the purchase of an AK-47. I think that should have been flipped the other way around. Well, well, no, you can't. I don't believe in that because it's your constitutional right to own a weapon and buy a weapon and have a weapon. So that's not a constitutional right to do the other thing. So, let's see. The vaccine was not your body, your choice, but abortion is your body. Yeah, there you go. See, that's what. See, that's another thing. If people are, then you fall into the hypocritical part because if people say, "Oh well, I should be able to do this," but yet you weren't having a problem, people being forced to take a shot that they didn't want. So and that's what is kind of hypocritical type shit. Three of the last five governors convinced of committing felonies while in office, two serve prison time. Yeah, that's your. You gotta love those states, man. You gotta love those fucking. I know some guy in Florida just got busted for fraud and shit. So yeah. So in that respect, Gig Show, what like when you see that, like when you look at most Americans, people that may have lost their jobs due to that whole, taking the jab stuff. Um, how do you gain their support for your issue? You know what I'm saying? You how do you gain their respect? If you didn't have the respect for them when it came to getting the jab or not, what makes you think they should have the same respect for you when it comes to the abortion issue? You know, or the gun issue, for example. You we've always had the right to bear arms. We've always had that right. So, and at the end of the day, me having an AK-47 or the amount of mass shootings that happen, which is very rare when it comes to that. It doesn't even come close to the amount of babies that are killed every year. You know what I'm saying? So let's see, you can't because most people that lost their job due to the jab thing see the hypocrisy. Exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. You kind of push people away when it became one issue. You push people away, so you can't expect those same people to have your back when it comes to in my personal opinion. In my opinion. So, do you think if the whole gun law thing was fully active a month ago, could an 18-year-old get his guns and go to a school? Yeah, technically, because it wouldn't matter whether he was 18-year-old or 21-year-old. He had nothing in his background to flag him to not to be able to purchase the firearms. He was perfectly. There was nothing in his background to say he couldn't. Now, with the new specific law they just pushed through, it gives the option to go into juvenile records. I don't know if the kid had a juvenile record or not, but it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter whatsoever because you can buy a gun on the street. So it wouldn't matter at the end of the day whether he bought it legally or illegally. You can still get the gun on the street. So he already had plans to do that. So whether he bought them legally or got them illegally, it wouldn't have changed. It wouldn't, in my opinion, wouldn't have changed the situation at all. Yeah, it wouldn't have made a difference in my opinion. So, and if you're considered an adult at 18, and if you're an adult, at 18, if you're considered an adult, you should have all the rights of an adult, and that includes purchasing firearms. The new law they passed, it has the so-called boyfriend loophole, which I think is BS. It has red flag laws. Red flag laws are horrible. You do not want red flag laws. That means okay, Peaches and a neighbor don't get along, whatever the case may be. Your neighbor calls the cops and say, "Hey, Peaches threatened me." Next thing you know, the police are knocking on your door, taking away your stuff, and then you have to prove that you weren't a threat, that you deserve to have your guns back, and all that other shit. You have to pay to have your guns stored while you go through the whole process of trying to get your guns back because your neighbor just decided to make a claim that you're a dangerous person and they don't feel you should have your guns. So that's why that law is garbage. How, let's see, how many 18-year-olds got the money to buy the new truck? Well, the truck, as far as the information, the truck was his grandma's, and apparently he shared his grandma's accounts. He had access to his grandma and grandpa's bank accounts. So I guess that's where a lot of the money came from. So yeah, he shared the bank account with his grandma. So apparently that's where the money came from. Which to me, if I was grandma or grandpa, I would be like, well, wait a minute, where's my money going? So in that respect, they weren't paying attention to what was going on. Yeah, guns for Ukraine, but no guns for you. Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, but the truck was his grandparents' truck. He shot grandma in the face and took the truck. But yeah, that's the couple of the things in that new law that they just passed. You know, yeah. But that's BS to me. It's like the so-called boyfriend loophole thing that they're talking about. Yeah, they were out of Mountain Dew, so I got stuck doing Pepsi. Um, and that they got the boyfriend law, which means if you dated a guy, let's say you date a guy for 4 or 5 times, you go out on dates, and you feel he's threatened, you feel he's a threat, or he ghosts you and pisses you off, and so you just call and say, "Hey, this guy's a threat," blah blah blah, and they can go and do that to him as well. So that's that red flag laws. There are no most red flag laws are going to be deemed unconstitutional because there's no due process in a red flag law. There's no due process, which means somebody can say, "Hey, Roy's a danger to society. They come and take my stuff. I don't have any way of proving. I have to go through this whole court process and all this other stuff. So I don't get due process prior to you taking my stuff." So a lot of that will be blown out. It will definitely go to the Supreme Court as well, and known to be unconstitutional because you can't do that. You can't take somebody's stuff without due process. You know. Yeah, exactly. Dashing through life, you don't like your neighbor's politics, so you call on your neighbor. Next thing you know, the cops are showing up at the door taking their stuff. You know, or like I said, you get pissed off because some guy ghosts you, and next thing you know, they're taking his stuff. So. Well, that's because that doesn't. What happens in Ethiopia is an Ethiopian issue. It's not a U.S. issue. You know what I'm saying? It's not a U.S. issue. So that's why those laws are so bull. That's why those laws, some of that stuff in that new law is bull crap. Some of the stuff's good in there when it comes to. Yeah, I still do the domino stuff. Well, where's the outrage, William? It's because they believe the same thing. If it doesn't directly affect them, why would they care? You know. Yeah, well, mainstream news nowadays is a bunch of propaganda. So I wouldn't watch it either. They don't go around telling the truth. So. But yeah, I still do dominoes. And like you said, William, if it doesn't directly affect people, what happens in Ethiopia doesn't directly affect us here. Of course, they don't care. Hey, how you doing, Garth? Well, welcome to the chat. Yeah, mainstream media nowadays, yeah, they aren't the greatest when it comes to telling you the truth about stuff. That's what was good about that talk we had with what's her name last night, uh, Emma. That was what was good about that talk with Emma because she lives in the UK, so she's only getting the information that they give. She isn't into the same. She doesn't know that stuff because she's not hearing the truth about it. You know. Welcome to Roy's brain stretching chat. Right, right. Hey, thanks, Cruising Dasher. Appreciate me. It's Emma. But yeah, that's what's good because she lives across the pond as well. And so they don't get a lot of the information the true information because the agendas of it, you know? And that's what's unfortunate about the UK because the UK don't have the same laws that we have. They're not, and she's talking about the number of stabbings they have there, people being stabbed. Well, they don't even have the ability to protect themselves from that. Like, at least we have the ability to protect ourselves. If some crazy dude comes running at us with a knife, we have the ability to at least protect ourselves. There, you don't have that, you know? So, and that's what's crazy to me is people are so worried about the crime and this and that, but yet they're willing to give away their rights to be able to protect themselves. Well, what do they think's going to happen? You know what I'm saying? What do they think's going to happen? You're going if you give up your right to protect yourself, you're going to make yourself a victim at that point. You know? Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of people like that chat last night. It was a good chat, I think, and these are issues that we really need to focus on. You know, and I think we need to focus on this stuff, and a lot more people need to get involved in that stuff. Like William's saying, a lot of people have the mindset, well, it doesn't directly affect me, but in some respects, it will affect you somewhere down the line. And I think it's important we talk about that. I know I put myself out there as I put myself out there as, dude, this guy's this or this guy's that because I do talk about these issues, but I don't care. I think it's important that we talk about those issues. You know, I think it's something we need to talk about. You know, where was the Emma live stream? It was last night's live stream. Emma came in. She actually came into the chat and everything. So that was last night's live stream. It's the one with the vampire. Hey, Bud Soda, what's up? It was the vampire one where you see the vampire for the that crazy ass house critters. Critters doing fine. I actually got a video. I moved the new critter into a new cage today, so I did a video on that. They need a cop at every entrance to every school. Exactly, exactly. And that's the problem. That's the problem. A lot of people say, what's going to help solve the issue of school shootings? You got to make it where people don't want to go to school shootings. These people that choose these particular spots to attack, they do it because there's no fighting back. There's no fighting back. So, um, yeah, you need to do that kind of stuff. You need to make them to where you don't. Most of these guys that do these things, they don't want you to fight back. They're scared shitless. They don't want you to fight back. So the minute bullets start coming their way, they leave. They don't, and they know that if they they're attacking schools, there's no bullets coming back at them, or the nearest bullets are 5 to 10 minutes away until the popos show up. So that's why they need to you know, up the deal. He wasn't at the school for some reason. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Maybe he went and got something to drink, or maybe it's hard to say. I don't know what he did show up though. He showed up. He just went to the wrong person. So if he would have actually engaged the shooter while he was still outside, it probably wouldn't have got where it did. But unfortunately, he passed up the shooter and went to somebody else that was a teacher that was standing outside. So so that's why. So he was there. He wasn't far from there. So he wasn't very far from there because he made it there. All the critters asleep. No, most of the critters are nocturnal. Most of the critters are nocturnal. So the centipede's going to be out. Most of the tarantulas, they cruise around at nighttime. So most of the critters actually are nighttime animals. So hire hire retired military men and women. Yeah, if it's a job that they're able to do and they want to do, fuck yeah. Hell yeah, give them the job. You know, most school shootings are in inner cities and are simply just location more than a target. Yeah, it's just a soft target. Functionally, your teachers need to be armed for now. Yeah, exactly, Garth. Yes, and I don't see a problem with that. I don't see a problem with that. If I'm a parent, I'm a parent, if I feel that the teacher has been trained properly and the teacher is willing to take on that responsibility, there's no reason why they shouldn't have that responsibility if that's what they want. You know, like I said, the only thing that's going to stop somebody like that is somebody that's willing to confront them with and shoot back. You know, so yeah. But he like I said, he passed up the kid because there was somebody else standing outside. One of the other teachers was outside, so he assumed that was the shooter guy, and turned out it wasn't him; it was the other one. Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately. Oh, you want the link? Okay, hold on. Let me put you in here. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the unfortunate part, but that's what you got. That's why you got. It's unfortunate that you have to have your schools locked down. Shouldn't have to do that, but the more opportunity you take away these shooters, soft targets, the less mass shootings you're going to have. You know, they only do these things because they're able to because they're soft targets. Take away soft targets, you don't have that issue anymore. You know.
Mic on before we shit. Will you put me in?
Ooh.
Is my mic on though, Roy?
Yeah, you're on. We can hear you.
Okay. No, no, no.
So,
I everything's good. I enjoyed the conversation, and I'm not exhausted. No, no. What I wanted to clarify was what I was saying is most school shootings aren't like mass shootings like you see in the news. What
no.
they are is they're shootings in the inner city and they're a location, not a target. So what it is there will be somebody that's like a high school person that's like maybe a gang member. And so they're just going to school. The school's
Yeah.
not a target. The person's a school. Or you have
Exactly.
or you have a gang that's shooting up the block that the school's on. The
Yeah.
school just happens to be there. Or you've got a crackhead that runs across the fucking playground running from his crack dealer. Either way,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is most school shootings in the US are totally that. They're not
Yeah.
targets like every. I don't know. That's what I wanted to project to Emma last night when I kept bringing it up, too. It's just like, and that's why I brought the knives up. It's like the problems are everywhere, and they're in more the real problems that everybody has to deal with. They're out there. There's more of them than these ones that are sensationalized by the news.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah, but yeah, because well, like I said last night, mass shootings only the reason why it looks like we have so many mass shootings is because the CDC changed the requirement of what a mass shooting is, and that's only if four people are
Oh yeah,
shot. So if
I
you
was so
got
glad
four
you
gang
brought that
members
up.
on the if you get four gang members on the corner, they get taken out by another gang. They consider that a mass shooting. Well, technically, that's not a mass shooting. That's gang violence. That's not a technical mass shooting, but
Yeah.
it falls under their mass shooting agenda because it was four people.
Well,
So
and
even if only one of those four people die, they still consider it a mass shooting because four people were involved. Which
well,
that's
yeah,
bullshit.
and
You know?
that's the same I was saying too. Like if like Bobby Blue Crip chases down Johnny Redblood because they're in rival gangs and he kills them on the school playground, anywhere on the school grounds,
Oh yeah,
anywhere on the
yeah.
school grounds. He gets shot. He gets shot, but the guy stumbles onto the very edge of the high school
Oh
lawn.
yeah.
That's a school shooting. That's a school
Yeah.
shooting, right?
Yeah, that's the BS shit. That's the BS shit. That's the shit that they don't tell you, and that's because people, if you start telling people the truth and pointing out the truth to people, then you lose your ability to gain the power that you're trying to get. That's the unfortunate part. That's why nowadays mainstream media is the last people you want to get information from because they're not telling you the real story of what's really happening. They just say, "Oh yeah, there was a school shooting." Well, they don't tell you that it was because Tyrone found out that fucking Gary was fucking Tyrone's girlfriend, and so Tyrone went and shot Gary because he was fucking his girlfriend. You don't see hear that shit. It says, "Oh, there was a shooting at school," So that's the whole thing. That's why mainstream media that needs to get their shit under control. Those cops were cowards. I see. I totally don't believe that they're cowards. I'm not gonna even go there. They were put in a situation, and there was a shit ton of mistakes made. But until you put that badge on and you've been in those situations, you can't call somebody a coward because they're like any other job. They have specific rules they have to follow. They have chain of commands they have to follow. There's a lot of things that went wrong in that. It has nothing to do with whether, and they weren't cowards because two of them were shot attempting to get into that room. So I'm not gonna go with that. They were cowards shit. They were told it's a specific situation. That's the situation they prepared for. That doesn't make them a coward. That means there were some mad mistakes made, but it doesn't make them a coward. Yeah, exactly. See that's the thing. Yeah, teachers that sucks. Yeah,
what was the issue we were talking about tonight though? What was tonight's issue that you said that we brought up
oh,
first?
the issue that kind of yeah, because Bud Soda
Oh, the
was
Roe
when I was
versus
in the
Wade, the Roe versus Wade. Yeah, yeah, and the working
yeah
for. Yeah,
yeah.
no, I won't support the companies, but I really do feel somebody's going to order something no matter what, and somebody's going to deliver it. So if I'm working, why not me?
Well, that's because that just leads me to because I posed that question because it's leads okay okay. Let's say I strongly disagree with that. I don't believe women should just kill their babies because they want to kill their babies. I know that Starbucks is helping to facilitate this. Starbucks customers are helping to facilitate this. Because if I go to DoorDash and I order two caramel frappuccinos from Starbucks, that money is going to Starbucks, which in turn is going to facilitate paying for their employees to go do this.
Bro,
I don't
bro,
believe
but
that should be allowed.
but
Now,
but
am I willing
some
to set my moral compass aside because I'm getting paid to take the delivery? Do I put my moral compass to the side because I'm getting paid, even though I don't believe in what they're doing? You see what I'm saying? That was my question.
but my moral compass only activates if I'm purchasing from them. If not, some fucking Nigerian fucking immigrant is going to fucking take their delivery no matter what. So I'm going to take it. Because I don't feel I am giving them business. I really don't feel I'm doing any facilitation because I think somebody's going to take it. Period.
Well,
Especially
no,
with big.
that's why
Well, no, no, no,
that's
no.
why I posed the question.
Especially with big issues like this because you're always going to have two sides to it.
And that's why I posed the question because it does directly in some. Hey, Matthew Wilson, what's up? Because at the end of the day, it does affect gig work when you think about it. It is a gig worker thing. It will affect you because it affects your morals.
Roy,
That if
I
you
understand. I was the first one talking about Plan B as a delivery driver, Roy. I was. I see. I can't say go back and look because I nuked my shit. But I was the first one talking about delivering Plan Bs and shit and how that's an actual fucking, like you said, that's a moral question. You know?
well, not to me, the Plan B is not a moral question. To me, Plan B kind of almost will get a pass in my opinion because it's a preventative.
It
It, it,
depends.
it's preventing it's
Yeah.
preventing something that from later on going down the road, which is more heinous, if you want to call what you were saying a more heinous act.
Well,
And
it's still dependent on how convicted you still feel about it too. So the whole thing of life, because at that point, like it started. Almost already. Like if you got to take Plan B, life is started.
yeah, but that's what I don't I look at that more of a preventative, kind of like rubbers. If you're delivering rubbers, you know what I'm saying? It's a preventative.
Yeah, but
So.
I don't
So
have a
that
problem with. I don't have a problem with it, but I don't see it as a preventative. I
yeah,
obviously talk
because
about delivering it.
technically a Plan B, you don't even know if you're pregnant when you take it. You know what I'm saying? So it's more of a preventative. So you can't say you were pregnant at the time you took the Plan B. You know what I'm saying? Because you banged somebody, you took the cream pie, and then you went and got the Plan B just in case. So you can't even say you were pregnant at that point. But if you've missed your cycle 2 months in a row, you kind of
So
have
is
an
it?
idea that you're pregnant. You
So
know
is
what I'm
it?
saying?
So is it? So is it okay if I kick her in her shit and say, "Well, I didn't think she had a baby"?
Well, no, that's not. You would be charged for doing something like that.
But I'm
And
saying,
the
just,
chances
just
are,
it should
if
just be
you,
regular assault, though. There should be no extra charges if I like kill a baby.
but
Like I'm
yeah,
not
but you're
talking
not.
like
But
some 9 month pregnant. Like we're talking early, like you're saying.
yeah, if your woman is 2 months pregnant, 8 weeks into her pregnancy, there's a heartbeat. A heartbeat starts at 6 weeks. So yes, technically you murdered a baby if you kick her in her stomach. Yes, that's
Well, yeah.
considered
Let's say
murder.
I do, but let's say I do that shit in 2 weeks, Roy. Let's say I do that shit in 2 weeks. Life has already started.
But you don't know that because you don't even know if she's pregnant at that point.
But you don't know if she's not, so you're still ending it. It's
But that's
not
the
good,
thing.
Roy.
But
It's
that's the
not
thing.
good, Roy.
But that's the thing. You don't know if she is. She could be. You don't know if she is or not. And
I feel.
there's no way of technically telling that she was pregnant. Then chances are, yeah, you'd get an assault charge for that.
I'm just saying, if I took the side of not not being for abortions at all, I would be about like even the Plan B. That's what I'm saying because you don't know if you're ending a life or not. You could be possibly ending a life.
What, by taking Plan B?
Yeah, because if it is already started and you're ending it, like
But
like you just said, you don't know.
but there's a chance that it never even started. So, and it's a
But the
preventative.
but the chances are
It's made. Plan B is made to prevent the egg from attaching to the woman. So
the
if the egg
chances
never
are.
attaches to the woman, then there's never a chance for it to become a baby.
But God wanted my super sperm to get in there, Roy, and to get her pregnant. So
Oh, okay, yeah, because your sperm works different than every other person.
I'm just saying.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
just
Does your sperm walk around with little? Does your sperm walk around with some
it
glasses on and disguise itself? It's super.
has one of those little hand crank drills and shit to get inside the egg and shit. One of those old Acme hand crank drills. Let me in. Let me in. No.
Yeah, right. Your sperm walk around with glasses on, and then when it's ready to go, it rips its fucking. Come on.
Looking like minions and shit, Roy. I got little minions shooting out my pee pee.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like I said, it's a preventative. It's even if you're pro-life, it's a preventative. So, and that's what they
I,
should be concentrating on. They should be concentrating on preventative measures, not a medical procedure. In my personal opinion.
it's because of what's going on with the companies, Roy. It's not going to be the wake up call it should be.
But like I said, my whole question
It,
was with
because
what?
states are going to fucking it's just more furthering of the divide is all it is, unfortunately. And they're picking issues where it's important enough that a divide needs to happen. You
Well, my
know,
thing was with being that gig workers, they deliver food from these particular, or they deliver products from these particular companies that are helping to facilitate this. Where is your point? Like, what are you willing to draw the line as a gig worker? Are you willing to put your morals aside
Roy.
because you're getting
Roy,
a
here's the
paycheck?
here's the point, Roy. They're willing to die on these fucking hills, okay? And it's not a popular opinion, but I see us what we are because a lot of people don't like to go to this, and they say I'm wrong. A lot of people will. You probably will. But we're fucking dogs. So I really don't care about a dog sniffing another dog's ass or another dog that their pack chews off the other dog's leg. I don't give a fuck what goes on. We're a bunch of fucking animals walking around, a bunch of fucking ants. Let these fucking people do whatever they want. Unfortunately, it comes down to what I was talking about. I
Well,
fucking
okay. Well,
I think a few chess moves ahead, but I still am just like, if it doesn't affect me, fuck it, let it go.
that's what I'm saying. If you have the mindset of let people do what they want, then we can't say it's a wrong thing to do or it's a right thing to do. So we can't have an opinion on it. In my
Well, that's
personal
my
opinion, this is
I th-
my
yeah.
personal opinion. Like I don't have to me, do what you want to do. Do you. That's my whole opinion. Do you. That's why I don't but I'm asking other people because I'm the minority. There's a lot of people out there that have very strong opinions about this, and that's why I'm asking it. What are you willing to set your morals aside for a paycheck? Then where is the hypocrisy end at that point? Because if you're willing to sit there and say I don't believe in it, blah blah blah, but you're willing to take money from somebody who's facilitating it, you see what I'm saying? Then you could pretty much call yourself a hypocrite at that point.
But Roy, you don't know, because you and I will never agree on that. Because you say it's facilitating, and I say if
It is.
I'm
How do you not get it's facilitating, William? If a customer orders fucking Starbucks, okay? If a customer orders Starbucks, Starbucks is getting money from that customer, which in turn is being paid to you. The customer is tipping you. The customer gives you a $5 tip to deliver their Starbucks. You're facilitating it because you are getting money directly from a customer whose money is going to facilitate that issue.
okay, right, okay, how can I deal with it and go to sleep at night in that exact situation? This is how I deal with it. You ready? I take that $5, Roy, and I don't go spend it back at Starbucks, that company. Whereas if the other guy fucking takes it, he may spend that $5 back at that company. So I at
What's up,
least know
Robert?
that $5 tip and that money isn't going to be spent at that company.
That's still not the point. You're still taking money from somebody facilitating it. That whether you spend your money at Starbucks or not doesn't matter.
Exactly. You said they're facilitating it. I'm not.
Yeah, and you're
Oh, you're
facilitating
talking
it as
about a
well because you're
plan,
taking
Roy?
that money.
You're
Say
talking
what?
I
about
ain't facilitating shit.
are, are you
I'm
talking about
taking money that's out there.
Well, this was my question, Robert. As a gig worker, we know Starbucks and other companies are paying for their employees to go get abortions, correct?
right?
So my question is, as a delivery driver, are you willing to take those orders from those specific companies that depending on your whether you're pro-lifer or pro-choicer, let's say you're a pro-lifer, you don't believe in the abortion issue, blah blah blah. Are you willing to set those morals aside to pick up orders from Starbucks and deliver them?
Now that's a good question because a lot of people. I'll break it down like this: how vegan are you? How vegetarian are you? I break it down like that. You know what I mean? Because like you have you have some vegetarians that say I'm a vegetarian, but every now and then I'll eat fish. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you got some that do that. Now, if you are really gonna like the straight edge people, if you are really gonna practice what you preach, you would not do how like the vegans do. I'm not eating nothing that has to do with boom. I'm not gonna support. Boom, I'm not gonna step foot in. Boom, they actually go and protest in front of saying those stores. So if you are really true to what you're saying, you will not accept orders from those places. You will not pick up the Plan Bs from CVS. You will not. That's showing support from the places that are doing that. If you knowingly know it, like if you knowingly know that they're doing that. Like, let me give you an example of on this. I work for a company called APCO, and we're on fundraisers for like all the big major charities. But there's a charity called Help Me See. It's a Bill Gates charity, Bill Gates and Melinda Gates. Now I thought the charity was all cool because it's curing cataract blindness in children around the world, right? Where they just don't have anything. But once I found out that when they're curing the cataract blindness and putting the fresh water there, they're actually testing all this other stuff on those kids in those villages. And because of that, I had to stop doing that campaign.
yeah,
Because even though I was raising money, that money, the back end money was going into conducting all these things on these kids, and a lot of kids were dying. And once
yeah.
I found out I could not raise money for that charity anymore.
Yeah, and I feel you, Matthew. Yeah, that's a lot of people don't see, and that's kind of why I bring this stuff up because a lot of people don't think the way I think, and they don't get that deep into the issue. So that's why I ask these questions because it's an important issue. If the issue is so strong that you're willing to you know go out and protest on it and this and that, but yet you're willing to set your morals aside just because you're making an extra $5. You know what I'm saying? There's a hypocrisy level there.
I think
And so
people
that's why I ask these questions because I know a lot. There's how many fucking millions of fucking gig workers out there right now.
You need to question the level of the cog. His level of cogness is completely different than mine. I was a smaller cog in the fucking workings of the clock. He was talking about having to earn for the charity, whereas I am simply taking something that's going to be taken no matter what by someone.
I get
And
what you're
therefore
saying.
I'm preventing that money to go back into the system to that business
But
because I'm
but
going to
but
use it for my
to me
my
that
uses.
I can kind of see what you're saying there, but at the end, it's still the same thing. Like, all right, money is the cloud there. Because someone's going to get paid, they're going to say, well, it's not me, it's someone else. I'm just here to get paid. You know what I mean? And that's the whole thing there. But really, if you are true to the code, you will not accept orders and all of this stuff. That's like people saying I don't accept no tip orders. It's like they don't accept no tip orders, and that's a no tip order. This is actually a real life thing. You know what I mean? So, you
but
know,
even if you apply that, you can apply that same thing to many other situations. Let's say
right.
Yeah. But my
you
point
know
is, I
that.
feel that though. Yeah, I get what you're saying. So therefore, I feel so. Why am I wrong in feeling that me taking money out of that chain is the right way? Somebody else may feel like you guys feel taking that order in general isn't the right thing to do. But what's wrong with me thinking taking money out that chain is the right thing to do?
But you're not taking money out of the chain.
Yeah,
You're
you're
not
not
taking money
taking
out of the
money
chain.
out. You're just getting your portion of the cut.
Yeah,
I'm
you're just
taking
getting
my
your
money.
cut of the money.
I'm taking the money out the chain because the next person may spend. It goes back to what you said, Roy. They're not guaranteed to spend that money. But say it's a hot day. They need a little cold drink. They need a little caffeine. They're picking up a Starbucks. They take that $5 tip. They spend it on some 5 shoots of caramel, 2 shoots of vanilla, 3 shoots of mocha, couple of espressos. You know,
The
they
fuck
get
does
in a
that have to do
cool
with anything?
coffee. So that money goes back in the system. Whereas I take it, I go to wherever, get something else, you know?
Put it like this.
That's like saying, okay, you know a guy is fighting dogs. You go to pick up the order from PetSmart and you use that same mindset to deliver that food to the customer because somebody else is going to deliver it to the dog fighting guy anyway, so I might as well do it because then
I
I
can
won't
take
go to
No,
Pet.
dogfighting's different.
no.
Dogfight dogfighting's different. I could drop a dime
No,
on that
no,
motherfucker,
it's
get
not. It's not
paid.
different. It's the same. It's the same scenario. You're saying just because you're not gonna re-spend the money at Starbucks
Motherfucker,
that
I can't get go my criminal watch money for fucking Becky getting a plan B and shit at the motherfucking or getting her vanilla fucking latte from Starbucks and shit. But I can drop a dime on fucking somebody fighting dogs in the backyard and get like some $1,000 Crime Stoppers money,
but
man. Fuck out of here.
Check
it's
this
still
out
that
though.
mindset. You still have it's still that mindset that somebody's gonna take it. I might as well be the one that does it.
Yeah,
That's still that mindset. You know.
yeah.
Um,
And then like check this out. Starbucks, and I'm about to break. See, a lot of people may not know about all of this stuff that Starbucks is into, and their symbols and all that stuff. There's people that just do not go to Starbucks because of all of the stuff that's associated with Starbucks. Now you know what I'm saying. Like this brings up more stuff. Now Starbucks still flourishes because you got Starbucks, but there are people that don't go to Starbucks because of all these reasons, and I'm guaranteeing the people that don't go to Starbucks like that, and they do gig work, they will not accept those orders. I know they will not accept those orders
yeah.
because they don't even go to the store to even buy anything, so they will not even, that's them. to them, if they pick it up, if they go do an order, you pretty much told them you're the murderer, you're the killer. That's pretty much what you're how they're gonna feel. You know what I mean? Now we just got people out there that's just like, I'm just gonna take the money. Like, people will try to make up an excuse on why they're gonna take the money. The bottom line is you want the money, and that's just the bottom line. You just want the money. Yeah.
Must be the money.
And I know it's
Must be
crazy
the
that,
money.
but
Just like Prime
this
said.
is what, and that's kind of like why I like bringing up these subjects, because other people won't bring this shit up. Other people
Well, and
don't
they
bring
won't
this
be
shit up.
honest with you, Roy. They won't be honest with you. Why do you think when I was typing, I was just like, yeah, most motherfuckers won't be honest. Most delivery drivers, most delivery drivers will take it. They just won't tell you like I will. You know?
You know, and that's why I bring up these subjects, because other people won't talk about it. They're more busy worried about stacked orders or how to fucking how to
Where
read
is
the
my
hamburger
stacked
menu,
order?
how to read the hamburger menu and shit like that. You know, these are things that affect us on a daily. Kind of like the 2A the decision with the guns. This is stuff that actually affects us, and it does have a personal effect on you. And so when I ask that question, I'm looking to see how people react and how people, you know, because some people, like you said, won't think about it. They'll just think, okay, I'm going to Starbucks, you know, and then and then a week later they're out protesting pro life, but yet they're taking Starbucks because it's all about the money. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So
yeah, I ain't protesting shit.
At that point, you're a hypocrite. You can't be out protesting something and then helping to facilitate something just because you're getting paid for it. You can't do that. That's
you cannot.
hypocritical.
And
So
that's why this whole subject is real touchy, and like I try not to to have the discussions, because some people just do not, they don't. I see it in a completely different way, but I see everything there. We had a situation here, me and my wife, where they put that Mirena, that device in the women so that you can't get pregnant. Okay,
Yep.
That uterine device. So we used one of those when we first started dating, and then the thing didn't work, right? So when we went to go to the doctor, and then they told us some statistics that was going to happen to the baby if it was going to go, and real tough time, but she was doing the weighing thing there, and that happened. So I understand rape, if something crazy, the stats and the stuff that he was saying was going to happen to the kid was like that is pretty much going to have a vegetable, you know what I mean? So did that. So I understand rape, stuff like that, but then I'm pro-life, and I'm pro-life for preventative measures, like you said, preventative measures, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. You can use the condoms and all that stuff, and more teaching of people doing it like that, because if people really want to understand what the whole abortion thing was for, you have to go back and why they tested it on the black people back then, because they were trying to make us not have babies, the women not have babies. So a lot of people don't understand where it first started from, and that's where a lot of people they want preventative measures, because if you hear the stories from how it very first started and all the other stuff that goes in, you'll hate it. But then you get the people that want to go out there and party nonstop and just not protect themselves and just be like, well, I just take that pill. But they feel like I have the right because it's their body. But there's a fine line with that, though, too, that I understand. Yes, it's your body, but once a living sperm goes in and something now is created with the beat, that's its own identity. It's just using you as the host. You are the host, you know what I mean? But that's its own thing. And I see that's where the fine line comes. People want to be able to say, hey, what if you were inside of a host and you didn't get that chance to be who you are now? You know what I mean? But I understand when it comes to rape. Some people, rape and
there are exceptions for that. Most states have particular exceptions for that. But if you look at the statistical data, less than 1% of abortions in this country are performed for that specific reason. So that means 90 some other percent are being for convenience reasons, not for
Yes.
medical reasons.
Yes,
So, because
exactly.
most states have that. And at the point of where you got states like California, New York, that allow abortions up to 9 months, there is nothing that's ridiculous because
That's stupid.
that's
That's
ridiculous.
stupid. Because
Exactly.
if a woman has a baby premature, they're like, oh, that's a full human. So if you can have someone, man, that's that that's an
See,
M right there.
there's one particular state you can look it up. I'm not sure what the state is, but there's a state that says the mother can have the baby and the baby can be left alone for a week. If that baby dies, there's no punishment. If the baby lives, then they go on the process to do that. So they allow that kind of shit, and that is craziness to me. That you would
That
say, okay, you have the baby, we just let it sit there for a week. If it makes it, it makes it. If it don't, it don't. And there's
that's like
no
a dog. That's like
that
a
that
dog.
yeah.
Dog have
But
them pups, kittens have them pups. One not gonna make it. They like, oh well.
yeah,
Man,
there's states out
in
there.
my opinion, here's what everybody on the planet should think about when it comes to abortion. If your mama was pro-choice, you wouldn't fucking be here. That goes for everybody on this planet.
Yeah, but
If your
there's a
mama was
difference.
pro-choice, if she was all about abortions, you wouldn't be here.
But you can't really use that either because
No, no,
you
no,
can't
no. Because I
you
mean, you
can't
heard me
really.
yesterday. I was the one, Roy. You were the one that was wanting to bust my balls when I was saying every state has exceptions for medical and rape and stuff.
Yeah,
Like
but you
I'm
can't.
obviously not talking about that. But seriously, come on, seriously,
You see,
seriously.
you can't use that as this. You can't use that because society was totally different 50 years ago when I was born than it
Ah,
is
this
to now. So you can't really say okay because
motherfucker.
it was different back then.
There's always been abortions. Like people want to pretend like cruelty is a new thing. Cruelty's always
Well,
been
yeah,
around.
there's a lot. There's a lot. Like I
People,
think it was
people,
20.
people want to act like these little cartel videos are the worst thing they have ever seen of people treat like other humans. Like these motherfuckers act like we ain't have things called the rack, drawing quartering motherfuckers, tearing them apart by 4 different horses.
I
Like
have no
this
problem with
shit.
that. They need to bring. They need to bring some of that
I'm
shit.
just saying.
They need to bring.
It's just like I was talking to Emma yesterday when we were talking. It's just about like it's bigger, faster, stronger. But it's always been here. Ain't nothing new.
They
Been
need to
around the
bring that
block.
shit back. Though. They need to
Been
bring
around the
drawn
block.
quarters
Listen
back.
to this
But
motherfucker.
my whole thing was
Shut
because
up.
of everybody is in the gig world. These are things that affect. These are affect gig workers. This is kind of shit
Right.
that affects gig workers. So if
Yeah.
you
I
are a
mean,
gig,
gig workers
so
are
in my opinion, if you're a gig worker channel, this is something you should bring to people's attention. Are you willing to do this? Are you not willing to do it? What are your limits going to be? This is something that should be brought up on a gig workers channel, in my
Man, that
opinion.
sure get
you know
blocked,
what
Roy.
you know
Motherfuckers
what, Roy?
can't do that. That'll affect
No,
money.
Roy, I was gonna talk about, just to just touch on it a little bit tomorrow, but tomorrow, no, yeah, I'm most definitely sure I'm most definitely because that is see, people in the gig world gotta understand you are the runners for everything. Every business is pretty much set up to have you go and run and do your thing. So this is an excellent question. And like you said, yes. Roy said it, and I'm about to do it tomorrow too, because that is a good one because people don't think about that stuff. A
Yeah,
lot of people talk about what they believe in and what they stand for. All right, well, when right now you're about to be put into a game right now where there's going to be
exactly.
a lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
you know,
And
so
the reason why I think it's a really good question is because it affects you personally at that point. Your views will affect you personally because now it's affecting you financially. That's a direct effect. So your decision to say I'm a pro-lifer, I don't believe in it, blah blah blah. Now it affects this because now
mhm,
you have companies out there that you deliver for that are facilitating the one thing you say you're totally against. So that's the question: are you willing to have something directly if you let your morals and your personal standing on a subject affect you personally? So that's why
right,
the question was brought up at the most part because like you said, people don't think about that. They don't think, okay, Starbucks, oh, they kind of have that William. and I'm not picking on William. William knows we always do this shit. I'm not picking. They had that mindset. Well, somebody else is going to do it. Why shouldn't I do it? Well,
Ain't nobody going to have the balls to say what I said. I can tell you right now, that's what we should do for the next 10 minutes is go through the generic answers that are going to be in the fucking comment sections of these places.
well, I appreciate
You know
everybody
they're going
that
to be
comes in my.
no, I
appreciate the
definitely,
people.
I believe that life is sacred and this and that. And I was raised this way. Then you're going to have
Well, I
the other, I
appreciate
had an
everybody that comes
abortion
in
when
and.
I was 19 and I
Well,
wouldn't
see,
have
this is the thing.
I wouldn't have ever been able to succeed unless I was. I mean, come on, man.
Well, this is the thing. I appreciate the people that are in this room right now because this is a touchy subject. Let's fucking face it. This is a touchy subject, and we all know Roy
Oh
has
no,
no
I
issue.
appreciate everybody that's here. Fucking, they got some balls. That's all I got to
Oh,
say.
bro, he
Whether they
kept
got
it way real right there, Roy. He kept it real. You know, we go here, we go that stuff, and it's gonna
Yeah.
sound like a
So
broken record too. It's gonna
yeah.
sound like a
So
broken record.
that's why I brought it up because I'm not afraid to ride the edge.
Yeah,
A lot of gig workers won't bring this up because
living on the
or
edge?
other gig channels won't bring it up because once again they're worried about it's a touchy subject. Do I
Roy,
want to
you're not a gig channel anymore.
Roy,
You are
Roy
Roy's
hey,
takes
Roy,
Critter
that's hot
Corner.
facts right there,
Roy
Roy. That's hot facts
Roy
right
take
there.
Roy takes that boat and he fucking shakes the shit out of it because that's what
Yeah,
I think we need to do.
Whoa,
You know,
Roy, we don't need to hear about what you're doing on a Saturday night, shaking your boat and
well
shit, bro.
just because I changed my channel to do the critters and stuff, you know,
I'm fucking with you.
I still am involved in gig work. I still do gig work once in a blue motherfucking moon, but I still do it. So I'm still in that community. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But I think more gig channels need to bring this subject up because it affects you
Yes.
directly. This is something that affects you directly, and
boy.
so I think more gig channels should bring it
That's
up.
hot facts
Shit,
right there.
I should
That's
think
hot
they
facts.
should bring it up just to get off the subject of no tip, no trip for a fucking day or two.
What you think I got hot facts for? I got interviews with people in all type of different
Yep,
stuff. Every single day I got interviews
exactly.
so I can do all that. And then check this out. Because of all these interviews, I'm doing this stuff too. You know how like you go and check on your analytics and it shows all the people that your subscribers watch. There's no one in the gig economy anymore that's on what my subscribers watch. Everyone has like 200,000 subscribers, and it's like all type of like shorts, people that like do shorts and stuff. But from doing all these interviews, I'm still in the gig economy, but now you know what I'm saying. I can do all the other stuff at the exact same time because I can't talking about tips and stuff all the time, man. I can't do it. I gotta have somebody on the show so I can talk to you about something,
Yeah,
man.
and Roxy makes a really good point here. He goes that a lot of these gig people won't do it because if YouTube marks their video, they don't get paid for the video. So he makes a
Mhm.
very good point there. Are you not willing to talk about it because you're not willing to give up that AdSense for a day? You know what I'm saying? So he has a
Yeah.
good point there. Are they
Yeah,
not going
but
to be
see,
willing to
some
do it
people
because
don't know how to talk about the subjects, though. A lot of people don't know how to use certain words so that they can still do it,
yeah,
and they won't go ahead and give you that strike. That's when it comes down to. First of all, that's when it comes down to you reading books of thesaurus, or you have to know you have to know these things. You know what I mean? You have to know what words to use in order to still do the exact same thing. Most of these people don't, they have no idea. They only know the same like 5 words, you know what I mean? And they'll
yeah,
stick with that.
exactly. Yeah.
And then they'll get all the strikes. They'll get all the
Well, I'm
strikes.
glad you're willing. I'm glad you
He,
came in here and you're
no,
willing
no,
to touch on. I'm
Robert's
glad
bringing
you're
up
here and you're willing
exactly
to
what
touch
I
on it.
said last night about how society, that goes to show you how much shit's changing right now. That, when all three of us were coming up, it was a big thing when the dictionary every 2 or 3 years added 1 or 2 words. And it
Yes, it
was
will.
usually some shit that was it was usually some shit that wasn't there before, like fiber optics. Like they'd have to add fiber optics because it got invented. Whereas nowadays, you've got 1,000 fucking slang terms fucking added to the dictionary every day. Motherfuckers are
But
changing and lessening words.
but I'm glad.
That's why we can't have discussions like abortion and shit. Because you start saying words like that, people are like, no, no, no. We've established a new word for that. You cannot use that word.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad Robert came in here and he's willing to touch on the subject because, like I said, it's an important subject and it affects people directly in the gig community, and I think more channels should talk about it.
Oh
Plain and
yeah.
simple. So
And
I'm
I'm
glad.
more, and I know how to moderate it. Yeah, I know how to moderate that. You know what I mean? Once I hear someone, once someone, and I'll read the comments. And I can read that one. If someone hops in, you know, I'll be able to hit that mute button like, hey, buddy, we gotta send you back to
Yeah.
referral or
Well,
re.
see, my
Well,
mouth has I have no filter on my mouth.
all the ones that are pro-life, the Lord is going to be mentioned at least once or twice in there, and all the people that are pro-choice, they're going to mention choice or body, or they're definitely going to mention the things we were talking about. There's an exception for. They're going to talk about
Well,
rape, or they're going to talk
see
about
this is my
somebody
thing about
being.
people that say they're pro-choice. Okay, I get it. You feel you have the right to go kill a baby. That's your choice. I feel you. But my thing is, why are you not trying to work on the preventative? Why aren't you working on preventative measures? You can't tell me that 25 weeks into a pregnancy, that's safer to go have a medical procedure that in the future could affect your reproductive, and it could possibly put you in danger of dying on the operating table instead of pushing the preventative, the plan B, the condom,
But
whatever
you're
the
going to
case
get
may
people.
be. So,
Roy,
I,
it's the you know the story on both sides. That's the point. What you're not going to get is what you're looking for, which is how it affects the dashing community or the delivering community, and you're not going to get the honest answer like I told you. I need the money. I'm broke. My convictions on this issue, because they don't directly involve me, aren't that strong that I'm not going to take the runs. But you're not going to get people doing this. It's going to come down to where they just start talking about being right, what you're talking about. They're going to start arguing what's right or wrong instead of talking about the real, which is what are you going to do in the position you're put in? I'm
Right.
just telling you the real.
And
well,
most
that's
of
what
these
I'm saying.
most of these pro-choice people.
That's why I
Go
brought it
ahead,
up
Roy.
because
Yeah. Go ahead, Roy.
that's why I brought it up because I want to get people's I want people to think about shit like this because we're too busy worried about stacked orders. We're too worried about the hamburger menu. We're too worried about like no trip, no trip. But these are things that will and somehow impact your life
They're
because
going
it's
to
first of all it can
what I'm saying
impact your
is they're going to
pocketbook.
discuss the issue and not how it affects their life. That's the thing. When we have these conversations, it gets back to the issue instead of how it's affecting their life.
But it does affect your life.
Because they
It
think
does
the issue
affect your
is
life if
affecting them.
this. When it comes
Yeah.
to your pocketbook, that's affecting your life directly. So if you're going to take the moral high ground on something, you got to do it 100%. Remember, I'm all about doing something 100%. If you're going to sit there and say I am strictly this, you can't say, oh well, I need to make my fucking money from my power bill, so I'll just let that moral slide this time and take my $5. You see what I'm saying? So
I
you can't
do.
come on here speaking the moral high ground, but yet you're willing to sled it to the side because you got to pay your power bill. So
Yeah.
that's where this shit comes from. Like
It's going to
that's
happen
why
though, Roy. That's what I'm
that's
saying.
why I
It's
wanted
like
to bring it up.
the pro-choice people. I feel, me personally, it lets me know who they are. Like really, it's the people that says, "All right, yeah, I'm pro-choice. You can do whatever the hell you want." That's like, yeah, you kids can play all day outside. Let that ball come in my yard. You are not going to get it back. That's the pro-choice people. They're going to
Yeah,
kill the
right.
game.
Yeah,
They're
and
going to
Matthew,
kill.
you're exactly right. That's the thing. They're so pro-choice, and like I said, they're so busy, trying to protect a possibly dangerous medical procedure than to learn how to put a rubber on right. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I don't know how many girls I've come across and banged that didn't know how to put a rubber on. Dead
Yeah,
ass.
that's definitely the
So,
easiest way to get me on a side is have one of the sides want to force their view on the other side. That's
well, you
definitely
can
the
never
easiest.
force anything. My questions aren't trying to force people
No,
anything.
not
My
you,
question,
not you.
you
I'm
know,
just saying that's the easiest way for. I mean, for you guys, how you're saying that's how you can see something. That's the easiest way for me to see which side is not the side to take, and that's the side that wants to force their fucking the way they
well,
do
like I said,
things on somebody else.
I just think it's a very important issue when it comes to gig work because you're facilitating stuff. And if you
This
feel a
is
certain way, this affects you
We
directly.
got to talk about that. We got to talk about that because
Yeah.
that's a major dilemma, man. That's a
So,
major
but
dilemma.
like I said, I appreciate everybody who came in and willing to stick with this subject because I know it's a touchy subject. A lot of people don't want to go into that realm of touchy subjects. So I appreciate
Hey,
everybody coming in here and dealing
but
with it and talking
it's
about it.
one that needs to be discussed because just put it like this: just for us three, well, it was you two first, and I joined in. But just for people listening right now, they probably were not going to even look at the news about this or anything. Now that they just heard this, they make them think a little bit, and that's all it's
Yeah.
for. Get you to think a little bit. So,
Because
hey,
now, when people say, "Well, it doesn't affect me directly," now you can't even say that because now it's at a state level. So now, if
mhm,
your state is taking your your tax dollars and using it to fund this, it affects you directly now. If your sales tax go up to help cover expenses for these procedures, it directly affects you now. So it may not have affected you before on a federal level because it was a federal thing. But now it's going to affect a lot more people directly because now it's a state thing. So now
yeah,
it's your state money that's going to go to this stuff. So it will affect you directly. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear people use that as an excuse. Well, it doesn't directly affect me, so why should I really care? No, now it directly affects you because it's on a state level, and so state money goes for this stuff. Your sales tax might go up because they're
sales
using it to
tax,
fund this
yeah,
stuff. So,
everything. Everything, everything. That's
so to sit there,
crazy.
to sit there and say, well, it's not going to directly affect me, you can't use that as an excuse, really, because
Yeah,
it's a state level. It's at a state level now. So
for people that believe that there's dirty money out there, that's what they will be taking. That's what they will be getting. They're gonna feel like they're getting that dirty money.
yeah.
They're
all
paying
money's dirty.
taxes. Yeah,
All
So
money's
so
dirty.
y'all
hopefully
know that.
I hope more gig channels pick up on this subject and are willing to talk about it and to see what the gig community is really about and how they feel about this. I want to see this. So
You know that's
Roy,
what it's
ain't
about. I've
nobody
been
gonna
trying to
talk
push
about
the issue.
abortions and school shootings and shit but you. Come on, man. Well, Robert, I give it Robert. Robert will talk about it. He said he would. I believe him. He just said it on here.
Yeah, I'm fully in on all this stuff. And look, even school shootings, right? Let's say you're a delivery driver, you're a gig driver. I drop off to the elementary schools all the time. I go inside the office. Let's say you go in there, you drop off, you gotta wait. You know what I'm saying? And the gunman comes in, he comes to the school when you're in there. You know what I'm saying? All this, the gig workers, we're a part of everything. We are a part of everything.
well, not only
Everything.
that is you got a lot of people that are weighing in on the school shooting thing. Oh, they need to do this, they need to do that. Well, you are a gig worker. I'm sure you have kids. Your kids go to school. You deliver to schools directly. You see how easy it is to get into a school or how not easy it is to get in school. So my question to you as a gig worker with kids that go to school, what have you done to go to your city council? What have you done to go do something to help protect your kid and others instead of just saying,
Look,
"Well, we need to do this," because you got a lot of people that say, "We need to do this, we need to do this," but yet they don't get off their ass long enough to go do anything to help facilitate the issue. Like, if I had a kid in school right now, you damn straight know I'm going to grab as many parents as I can and take them down to those school board meetings and say, hey, what the fuck are you guys doing to protect my kids? I don't want
right.
another Texas. I don't want a Texas in my son's school. So what the fuck are you doing? I don't have kids in school right now. Doesn't mean I can't do that kind of stuff. But I would hope if you're a parent and you have kids in school, and if you are a gig worker and you see you delivered, I've delivered to schools.
It's
I
supposed to hit
walked
you
right in the
right here.
motherfucking front door. I
It's
wasn't
supposed to hit
questioning
you in
dick.
the heart, Roy. It's supposed to hit you in the heart, man. It's supposed to hit
You
you
know,
in the heart. When you watch that commercial, when you watch that ASPCA commercial, and they got that shivering dog that looked like it's jacked up, and it hit you right there in the heart.
Fuck, we'll go
that's
back to the fucking World Hunger Society when they had that
that.
fucking fly land on that motherfucking kid's eyeball and shit. Oh
Stay
my
Yeah.
God. They were
cruising
tugging it.
cruising Dasher wrote, great show, guys. You guys definitely have the balls to talk about these topics. Dashing through life says this is too deep for most gig channels. He's
Yeah.
laughing. He's absolutely right. But I'll tell you right now, I've delivered to schools where I've walked directly in a school. I was never questioned. I walked right up to an office, kids everywhere. So if I wanted to walk in at that time and blast away, there was nothing to stop me.
That happens
Oh,
every single
you.
time I go up. There's no security guards in the front. There's no one. There's
Exactly.
no.
There wasn't jack shit. There
Yes,
wasn't
we
even a
are.
way to get buzzed in. I just slung the door open and walked right the fuck in. Same with
I'm at.
boys and girls.
I'm.
Same with
I'm at the.
boys and girls clubs.
I'm at the
That's just,
supercomputer. The supercomputer U of I, Champaign. I can gain access to buildings like that, like easy. Like
and
that's not good.
it's just like boys and girl clubs. Especially because a lot of girls and boys clubs are in these inner
Okay.
city neighborhoods that are high crime areas. So
Okay, that didn't have the.
why are you not having some kind of protection for the kids at the boys and girls club where that are in these high crime areas?
You
You know
know
what I'm
why I
saying?
think, Roy? You know why I think they don't do that for the Boys and Girls Club and the YMCA? I think it's an unwritten rule that you are just not supposed to mess with the Boys and Girls Club.
Right.
Look, you hear schools and stuff. You don't hear nothing about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what?
Exactly.
I used to send my kids to get tutored in school at
Yeah.
the damn Boys and Girls Club. It's safer.
Yeah, but like I said, that would be another good thing to bring up too. Is what you being a gig worker, you deliver to schools. You see how easy it is to get into school. You have kids in school. You're complaining about what's happened in Texas and this and that, but yet, what have you done? What have you done as a parent to make sure your kid is protected in school? If you're a gig worker and you see how easy it is for you to access, how easy do you think it's going to be for somebody with a gun to access? So
Yeah.
these are questions that technically really should be brought up. Because if you have school age kids and they're in school, you want to know this shit. Like I said, if I had a kid in school right now, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on at my school? I want to know what's happening. I'd be the
Hey,
one gathering the parents, but I'm not.
you
I
know
could
what's
do it.
crazy? My son's school, the high school, they got the police like in the parents can't even come on. You have to stop at, and the guard says nope. You got to go drop them off outside in front of the school. But the elementary schools and the junior high school, you can just walk up in how just free. But the high
Mhm.
school, they have the cops. But you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's strange.
Yeah.
That's strange that that it's like that. I don't know. That's kind of weird.
They should have something like that at every school, not just fucking high schools.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point. It's weird.
So yeah,
It's like
it's one of those issues that we as gig workers should be
You
talking
think
about.
that you
And
think that's your area, Robert, or you think that's everywhere that they're doing that?
no, well, all the high schools in this city, it's simply because the high schools are spread apart, and when the kids ditch, like the kids ditch for real, so they have like the high gates and stuff, but schools really smart kids that go to the school, like they're not bad schools, but this is just what this city does as far as trying to keep the kids safe, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
trying to keep people out, but they got it backwards because they're not doing it for the elementary school and the junior high school. They're only doing it for the high school.
well, I
So
know here the high schools have police a lot too, and I think a lot of that has to do with because high school students are a little bit more violent and they're more willing to be the ones that carry the guns into school and do stupid shit.
right,
And so I think that's one of the reasons why they have more police at the high schools. There's not a lot of little fucking 8-year-olds running around with pistolas because they want to shoot somebody up for doing some stupid shit. So I think that's a lot of reason why you see more police at high school because of most of your more violent crimes, a student versus student is going to be at a high school level. So that's why I think that is. But at this point, if your goal and everybody's goal is to stop
Well,
mass
that's why
shootings
I'm
in
kind of
schools,
trying to find out because like my area is the reverse. It's the opposite. The higher you go up, the less security there is.
yeah.
oh, okay,
Well,
dang, that's a complete
so
opposite. That is the opposite.
the point is the point is it needs to
Yeah,
be
like
brought
it's
to
the shit Roy
everybody's
was talking
attention.
about. Like I get to the elementaries and shit like that. They've got you ain't even getting in the door. There's like a buzzer and something, and you got to buzz and talk to somebody. Then they let you in like a middle area, and then at that point you're lucky. Like they'll come fucking talk to you, or you got some kind of call box.
Yeah,
Yeah,
damn.
but
Yeah,
they,
but
but
no, but like the college, because I got the college here, I can, like I said, walk up in, like those motherfuckers are dumb. They just will just be like, oh, okay. Like you've got to fucking, like you've got to have a fob to get in anywhere over there. But like, let's get real, man. Like these kids, there's still, like I said, we've got a student body of 75 to 80,000. These mugs are, and they're all fucking young kids. They don't care. They're letting people in, like I said, I mean, here's the thing for for everybody to get it. Like when I say supercomputer and shit, people are like, "Oh yeah, they're letting them in the nerd lab." Okay, here's the thing. I could have access to like future NFL players and NBA players. I could have access to $1 million a year employees. I could have access to former governors, like access to like do something if I wanted to. Like that's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous.
yeah, but
The
see, that's
high
the thing. They need to
the
fix
high
that.
schools the high schools a little grade down from that because again because they're used to like, especially like say I showed up with my food bag, like say I'm there to do something wrong, but say I show up with my food bag, they're like, oh, fucking Johnny Football fucking ordered some Taco Bell again. We'll just tell this person what's up. So they let me get past a certain point. They may not let me get in the school, but they let me get past the point because they just see me walking up with the delivery bag or something that they shouldn't. Or say they do actually let me in the school. Like say I just, say I have a delivery for this student because I looked at the yearbook or looked at something online, somebody's
Yeah,
Facebook.
dashing through life. I was one of those people back in the day because I was an athlete. I was a student athlete. I could get away with whatever the fuck I wanted. So, and
But
I
yeah,
was
the high
very
school.
good.
So the high school is fairly easy, but when you start getting to the small level here, it's just like you need a reason to be there. So like, who are
And
you and
yeah,
who is this? Like
and
even
then
the
what
food.
she's talking about people leaving and not coming back for the day. That was me because I was a student athlete and I was a very good athlete, state champion in what I did. And my dean was my coach at the time. So
Oh yeah.
my dean would let me do whatever the fuck I wanted.
Roy,
Man,
So
fuck.
you were
I
good.
had a teacher like that, Roy, and yeah, in sports, the sports the exact same way. You know what I'm saying? When you're good at the sport too, and that's what I'm telling my son. I'm like, you got the grades, and I said you're good. I said now I told you the coaches will be teaching the classes. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. Miss Jensen used to have us go to Denny's and bring her back to Denny's. She used to have us go bring her to Denny's because she already knew. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
because
yeah.
I was notorious from not coming back from lunch on time because it's like you never had enough time to eat and come back to lunch. So I would always come back to lunch late. And so the teacher that I had, he was getting hella pissed. So he's like, man, fuck this. Go to the dean's office. Go to the dean's office. I'm like, okay, I'll go to the dean's office. And so sooner or later, my coach, who was my dean, he's like, what the fuck's going on? I said, dude, I don't have enough time to eat. I said, I get back late and he's freaking out on me, blah, blah, blah. He said, okay, here. So he gave me a permanent pass that I could come back late from lunch every day I wanted to. And I didn't have to worry about it. And every time I got sent to the dean's office, he's like, "Why? Take a nap on my couch, do something. I don't give a shit." So that's that. So I had a simple shit like,
Hey, did you see these comments right here from Peaches and Queen?
yeah,
Okay, yeah, she's got the what's it say? It says I don't need that $5 or $10 order that bad because I'll get another order from a company who won't facilitate right there.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
see,
yeah. See,
and
so
that
that's
person up
why.
there,
So that's why I posed the question: are people going to be willing to let their pocketbooks take a little bit of a hit due to their
Hell
moral
no, they
compass?
gonna be like Queen. They just gonna say that shit in some chat or some comment section, or they're gonna be like in Queen's case, she may not because she a part timer. It may not have. It may not. She may not have to deal with that.
yeah, because in some areas, Starbucks, in some, I'm telling you, in some areas, you can go to Starbucks and then you can be at Starbucks like 6 times, like real quick in some areas.
Yep.
Um, and some people Starbucks, that's they're like, man, the Starbucks tip me good, and that's some good money at Starbucks. So,
So yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what they say. Like,
oh yes, this is gonna be
it'll
good.
be interesting because one of the other guys that usually come here, Omer, I know he gets a lot of Starbucks orders. And so I asked him today, so what is your moral? What do you feel about this? And he's like, fuck, I never even gave it any thought. I'm like, yeah,
Homer's gonna take
exactly.
that shit
So,
all day long, bro.
yeah.
Even though
Like
Homer,
you
even
said,
though Homer's
like
a part
William
time.
said, a lot of people, they're going to say one thing and they're going to do something other because they know people aren't watching. So, but everybody slips up now and then. It's going to come out. Somebody's going to
Yeah.
do the slip.
Somebody needs to be out there with some cameras and shit, catching motherfuckers taking shit. That shit would be the best.
Hey, Roy, you should see if Pedro might want to talk about this. You know, he's talking about stepping away from the gig game and getting into some other stuff. Yeah, throw it out there. Yeah, we got to throw it out there to these dudes with big old giant channels. Yeah, man. He gets like 200 people in there. He'll get a lot of people. I'm still doing it tomorrow. I should get some people in there tomorrow, but you know what I'm saying. I should get a good amount, a good amount of
Yeah.
people in there to participate. I got the interview with the model tomorrow, so
Yeah, I could possibly bring it up to him. I don't like.
no, because these dudes get on, man. These content creators get on here, and they when they're doing a live, they like to talk about, all right, yeah, we want to touch on this and touch on this and touch on that. They say it during a live just to say it out loud so people can just hear it. Once they hear it, they're like, oh, he touched on something. No, but they don't. They don't talk. You have to really touch on something, and they don't touch on the same thing every day. Are we gonna be a union? Do you want it in your state? What's the least amount of orders you're gonna take?
What's your mile to trip rate? What's your mile to money
Yeah,
ratio?
amount of money, right? Oh, and then they'll sneak me in there. So, what do you feel about taking low ball orders? They'll sneak me in there somehow. It's the same thing every single day, and it's the same circuit every single day from the exact same people, just on other channels talking about the exact same thing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
man, you're wasting all those words. I have listened and watched these things. Sometimes I don't even type. I just sit and watch. There's segues that they have segues there to where they can, and they purposely don't go to certain things. And I'm like, you got to go there. A lot of these dudes are trying to get more subs, and if people see you talk about more stuff, and they see you talk about more stuff, then
That's why
about
my channel's always been low because I speak on shit like this and I don't kiss people's ass because and I don't feel sorry for people. And when you fuck yourself up, I can't feel sorry for you. If you continue to fuck yourself up, I definitely don't feel sorry for you. And that's why my channel hasn't really grown because first of all, I'm not a fan of work. Let's fucking face it. I'm not the guy that thinks you should be out working 12 hours, 7 days a week. That's no life to me. And so I don't believe in a lot of their work ethics because to me it's ridiculous. If you got to work 7 days a week, 12 hours every day, you need to learn to do your finances a little bit better. And so that's my personal opinion. And a lot of people don't like my personal opinions because I'm not willing to pat you on your butt and say, "Oh, I feel sorry for you." No, I don't feel sorry for you when you know there's other opportunities out there and you choose not to take it because you're a bullheaded motherfucker. And so,
right.
no, I don't pat you on your ass for that. And that's why I don't think my channel grows very much because I'm not willing to be the one to pat you on your back. I'm not that guy. And I'm also that guy that I believe if you're going to do something, once again, do it 100 fucking percent. Don't get on an app and not know how to work your app. That's fucking retarded to me. That's like Robert opening a donut shop and then going to the guy next door and say, "How do I make donuts?" That's fucking ridiculous. You need to learn your own
Where's the
shit. Like,
glaze?
you need to learn your yeah, exactly. You need to learn your own shit. So if you got to make 400 videos of the same shit, and you still have 6 to 7 months later, you still see the same people asking the same questions on how to do something. At that point, that person is lazy, and they don't deserve your help anymore because they haven't chosen to help themselves.
Still making
Because
them dry ass cake donuts.
because
Where's the
if I come on
glaze?
here, yeah, no, if I come on here and say, "Okay, William, this is how you work the hamburger menu." Uh, here's video two because here, Robert, this is how you work the hamburger menu. Video 3, Matthew, here's how you do the hamburger menu. And then 6 months later, William comes back to me and says, how do I work the hamburger menu? I'm going to tell William, go fuck yourself because you chose not to fucking do it. And then, he'll unsubscribe. And then other people will unsubscribe because I look like an asshole. That's how my shit works. That's how my channel works. So,
Yeah. You know what? I don't want to pick on Bud Soda, man, but Bud does it. Bud does the thing a lot where every time he hops on the line and they go right to him, he always says something like, well, I had to go over here. Wasn't much, but went there. The pace not great. Too many drivers. It's the same startup every single time, the same startup, and then it goes into something where something happened to Bud that he wants to tell everyone that happened to him. Yeah.
And the one thing that annoys me the fucking most is when you try to have a live stream with somebody and you're opening up your live stream to have discussions about shit, and the next thing you hear is ding-a-ling-a-ling, ding-a-ling-a-ling every fucking 2 minutes. That fucking is so fucking annoying to me. That is so.
Fuck you, Roy. Sometimes when you're in that fucking pizza mobile, the fucking wind and shit. Oh my god, Roy.
Oh, hey.
But that is the most fucking annoying thing. But I'm not trying to have a discussion with you guys. I'm on there I'm listening to what you guys are saying. I'm listening to what you guys are saying while I'm doing my deliveries. I'm not trying to have a substantial chat with you like some of these other people. They're trying to have substantial chats with people, and you're in the back, and all you hear in the background is ding-a-ling-a-ling, cowbells, fucking ding-ding-ding. That's fucking annoying as fuck. That is fucking annoying.
It is annoying. It is.
That is fucking annoying as fuck.
All right, so what? We did this yesterday, or I don't know where I did this, but so are either one of you? I'll take a short interlude because everybody's dying right now. Are either one of you dashing at all? Not like literally right now, but like been dashing recently.
No, I haven't.
I just got done. I like at 9:45. I was done with my Uber Eats shift. I went out from like 7 to 9:45.
I'm sorry, dude. It's 115 degrees out here.
But I'm saying, like, have either of you dashed within the week or something? Is what I'm saying.
Hell no.
I don't DoorDash at all. I just Uber Eats and Postmates.
Okay. Okay.
And you know me. I'm not gonna sit in a parking lot when it's 120 degrees, hoping to get a $6 order. They can go fuck themselves. So no, Roy.
No. It's ridiculous out there. You do got monsoons. You do got monsoons coming though soon, Roy.
Yeah, so Roy don't fucking do that. So
you do got monsoons. How soon's yours gonna be there, Roy?
We probably usually in July we'll start getting it. But
shut the fuck up, Roy. It's the end of June. It's coming.
Yeah, I'm not gonna walk into Wingstop with my fucking titty sweat and everything because I've been sitting in the parking lot for 30 minutes waiting for that fucking $3, $6 order. Fuck all
That's
that.
what I'm saying, Roy. You got to pay attention when that monsoons come because you got to, keep that extra shirt in the car to keep the rolls from sweating.
Hell to the no, bro. You don't drive out here when it's raining. It's death out here when it's raining, bro. It's like it's like you already put your life at risk when you drive when it's dry out here, let alone when it's wet. So DoorDash doesn't pay me enough to put my life at risk in the rain out here. Fuck all that.
My goodness.
So yeah, Roy is not sitting out. Roy is not sitting out in 110-degree weather waiting for $6 orders. Fuck that.
No.
Roy ain't doing it. Roy's not doing that. So.
And I just don't. I just don't DoorDash. I've done it. I can't.
Well, see, I can't do Uber Eats because of my ride share issues.
Right.
Uber Eats.
And you did the right thing too, Roy. You did the right thing, and every time I listen to you tell that story, I'm like, damn, that's some Captain America shit right there. We just go sock the car and stop it. You're not about to come.
Trust me, I saw the pictures of his quarter panel, and Roy socked it and left a big ass dent. So yeah, Roy socked it good. Like Roy don't play. So,
Yeah,
but
he
that
was.
just goes to show you how close he was to us at that time that I was able to reach out and sock that fucking car the way I did. That shows you how close he was to pushing us into those other cars. So
Yeah,
I would do it again. Like I said, I'm all about my customer service, and that's one thing I definitely stressed when I did rideshare was once I had that customer in my car, that customer to me was no different than a family member at that point because his life is in my fucking hands.
What
So
was the traffic? What was
I
the
come from a
traffic he was
security
pushing
background
you in,
too.
Roy?
say what?
What was the traffic he was pushing you in?
What happened is at a specific hotel here, there's a one way in. There's a one way in and a one way out situation. So you come in, you do a roundabout, and you come back out. So it's one lane per vehicle. What happened is when I'm coming down, there's also bars and other things where people have parked cars for the bar and shit at the end of the road. And what happened is that when I was coming down, the Uber driver decided, hey, I'm going to make a third lane, and he decided to come up the middle. And when he was doing that, he started to push me into those parked cars. And so that's when I reached out and socked his shit to get him to stop so I didn't end up into the parked car. And
Was
then
he?
he
Were you in front of him, or was he in? Like, was his
no,
front bumper in front of yours?
I was in my
You on
lane
the side
cruising
of him.
and he tried to shoot up the middle. And when he tried to shoot up the middle, he was pushing me off to the side. So that's when I socked his car.
So when he
But then
shot past, so did he shoot past you? Was his front bumper in front of yours?
no.
Then fuck
It
that.
was
Let him run
it was
into you.
it was pretty much side by side. So
Then let him run into your ass and fucking sue that
no,
bitch.
I'm not gonna put my customer at risk. And we already know the issues when some of you
What was
trip.
your speed though? I thought you said
Oh
you were
fuck!
at the hotel.
I don't fucking remember. I don't remember all that shit. It's not like that's something that you even pay attention to. You pay attention to. Okay, I'm gonna
No, no, no.
crash.
Like,
You
were
know,
you on
I
the
don't.
road though? You were on the road though, like a good.
No, we were stuck in the roundabout area, one way in, one way out. We were stuck there. I had no way to escape. The only way to
Yeah.
escape was to hit the parked cars.
He was trying to make his own lane. He was trying
I'm
to make his
saying, was
own.
it really gonna fuck those cars up or like threaten the customer? That's what I'm saying. Being in the
What
like
difference does that
like I
make?
get if you're going 35 on a free or not freeway, if you're going 35 on the street, but if you're like going 5 miles an hour in the parking thing, I mean, you still would have had fucked up car, but I mean,
Yeah,
the
but that's
customer.
not the point. That's not the point. Hey, John, what's up? That's not the point. That's not the point. I'm not going to crash whether it's 5 miles an hour or 25 fucking
I
miles an hour. I'm not going to
got
crash.
I mean, Roy, though, it's like, I mean, I get the risk shit, but it ain't like, I mean, you're going like 5 miles an hour, like you guys are gonna have a fender bender. You know
Okay,
what I mean?
Roy said,
he's
"I'm
not
not
gonna have a
crashing
fender
that bitch."
bender.
I mean,
Roy,
He's not gonna have it.
if you don't Hulk his shit, you're gonna have a fender bender.
He's not gonna
But
have
you
a fender
Hulk this
bender.
shit.
I'm gonna get crashed into parked cars. I'm
Nah,
going to have
hit
to
his
deal with
shit.
that bullshit.
He
He's gonna
said,
hit
"Hulk
your shit,
smash, Hulk
and then it's
smash."
on him. Once he hits your
Man,
shit,
fuck
it's
all
on him.
that.
No,
Fuck all
Roy
that. Roy do
said,
not want to.
"No
First of all,
crash."
Roy don't like dealing with the popos as it is. I'm not
Roy,
gonna
you know
crash
I
my
don't
car.
like dealing with the fucking police. Jesus Christ.
And you know how people are nowadays. You hit them whether it's going 5 miles an hour or 25 miles an hour. The motherfucker in the back seat's gonna be like my neck and my back.
Yeah,
So
my
Bro, I've been hit dead on somebody not stopping at a red light, blowing it at an intersection. Like and I've had somebody right next to me merge into me. I'd let somebody merge into me anytime. And like we were going like 20 when that shit happened even.
I've
The
had the red
merging.
light. I've had the red
But
yeah,
light.
well, I
Later
did
But the
too in
other
on,
my
one,
car.
the other one hit me. The other one hit me, and if I hadn't have turned my car so that they hit my back end, my quarter panel, they would have hit me dead on and flipped me. You get what I'm
mm,
saying? Like they'd have hit me dead on in the middle of the passenger, and because it was a 4 door, it was an '83 Honda. It was fucking. They would have hit me between the fucking front door and the back door, and it would have fucking flipped me. But because I fucking saw it coming, I started to go left, so they hit my fucking back end, and it spun me around to where I was
mm,
facing the other direction. Like I was facing the other direction from where I was going.
damn. See, I T-boned the lady in that exact same spot you were talking about, but on the driver's side and the back passenger. She ran the red light, 4-second red light run. And yeah, man, I'm going through my green light. It's green. The lady in front of me, we're going through the lights. She gets through, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going through the light, and then boom.
I'm not gonna
Now
lie.
I'm up.
You'd have told me half a second, I'd have been like, Robert, but 4 seconds, yo, like
4
that's
seconds.
like a
4
car
seconds.
could be like a car could be through the intersection from a dead stop, is what I'm saying, and I don't mean like a burnout.
And
We're
check
not
this.
talking like a Hellcat. We're talking like your mom could do that shit in a Subaru. 4 seconds to
4
get through
seconds.
intersections. Yeah, yeah.
Check this out. And you know how in some of the areas you got the old lady that sits in front and she just watches the intersection all day. That's what she does. Okay, that lady was my witness, and then the Edison
Nice.
was out there doing some work on some poles. They were my witnesses for the cop, and the lady that actually was in front of me, she pulled over and waited till the motorcycle cop came, and then she went and told him. And when he talked to me, he was like, wow, she said the exact same thing you said. Yeah, and check this out. When the girl ran the red light, when I after I was buzzed. My head was ringing. I kick out my car door, and she says, why'd you hit me? And I was like, I'm not saying nothing else. I didn't say nothing else to her, but she had a kid in the back seat. She had 2 kids. One was like 2, and then one was like 9 months. Yeah. Her kids almost died. And she was reaching for her phone that fell on the floor. She actually ended up telling the cop her phone fell on the floor and she was reaching for her phone.
Yeah, fucking idiots. Phones.
Yeah, that's
That's another thing.
ridiculous.
That's another thing why I think I pissed off a lot of gig workers too, is because and gig YouTubers, because I don't believe in that fucking with your cell phone while you're driving shit. So I was always busting people's balls about that shit. So.
Yeah, when they go
Roy,
live,
you're just too old. There's a proper way
No,
and a
no,
non-proper way.
I don't believe any gig channel can talk about safety when you're breaking major safety rules right in front of everybody. That makes
I
no
never
fucking sense.
disagreed with you there, though, Roy. I'll give you that. I never
That
disagreed with you there. But at the
yeah.
same time, Mr. Anderson never did a fucking safety video either. Pop,
Yeah,
pop,
well,
pop,
that's what
pop,
I'm saying.
pop, 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 pop.
A lot of people were doing safety videos, but sit there fucking around with 3 phones
I
and
know.
playing with cameras and all this other shit. You can't fucking talk about safety if you're the one breaking safety rules. You know what I'm saying?
Did you say breaking the law,
yeah,
Roy?
it's funny when you're watching people do them. Sometimes, like some people stare directly at their camera when they're driving. I'm like, man, ain't you learned up TV? Put that, set it up so it looks like you're looking at the camera, but you're looking at the road. Some people got it set to the side and they're looking over this way at the camera. I'm like, man, you gonna hit that truck. That you hitting that truck ain't worth that extra buck. That is
Yeah.
not what it is.
Exactly. All right. Well, we're gonna end this. We've been on for over 2 hours. It's 1 o'clock. People need to get to sleep, and because I'm sure they got to work in the morning. So, so, but
I
I'm
may
gonna
go
be looking
work right
forward.
now, Roy.
I'm gonna be looking forward to your stuff, Mr. Robert, tomorrow. I'll definitely
Oh yeah,
try to be in that
tomorrow,
bit.
Roy. Yep, that is going down, buddy. Great question. Great question. I think people man, if they have not thought about that, and you know what, Pedro and all them guys, Rideshare with Rodeo, they all watch my show. Pedro talk, he'll come in and type, but the other ones watch because when I watch their lives, they throw out little stuff. They watch, so I'm gonna talk about it because they will
Cool.
watch. Yeah, they will watch.
Yeah, because you reach certain people I don't reach. You know how that goes.
Yeah,
So
that's the
so
best way
that's
to do
why
it.
I've been trying to get into more people's live streams and bring it up, because they got a different audience than I have, and they may have a bigger audience than I have. So that's why I've been trying to jump into other people's shit and bring it up. But we know how that goes.
Oh, before you head off, Roy, for everyone that's watching right now, so this week coming up, I'm gonna do it once a week, just the open forum from men, just men. We can talk about stuff, to help other men, young men. Why it's important to stack your money, do this, why it's important, what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Just get on there and just talk. A lot of dudes don't talk about nothing, but if it's a bunch of dudes just talking about stuff, some
I
may
got
have, I got this going
you.
on, so I'll be
You know
doing that.
what? And you know what? After you do that, you should have your wife on there, and you guys should do one for women as well. That way,
I
you get both.
I was
You get
thinking
both
about
parts of the community. So,
yeah. Yeah, so I don't know the name of it, but it's going up this week coming up, probably like on Tuesday or Wednesday. Open forum for the men. I'm gonna draw some questions for us, and then just go right there, let it flow.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
good. That's a good idea because, like you said, a lot of men are afraid to talk about shit because it makes them look weak if they. Like I've cried on my live streams. I've cried on videos because there's certain things I have a strong passion for, and when you've gone through certain shit, it gets emotional. So I'm not afraid to fucking cry on video and shit. It doesn't make me a weak mother. Anybody that thinks I'm weak is more than welcome to test that theory. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's a good idea because a lot of guys are afraid to speak because they feel that it makes them look weak. It doesn't.
right,
It doesn't. And like I've never had it. You know, yeah, I've broke down before on videos, but it's because if it's something that has affected me dearly, it means a lot to me. And you know, somebody that's almost died twice, that shit's emotional, and you know, so you know, and I feel that a lot of men would benefit from that, being able to have an open forum and not be judged, because too many people want to judge you because oh you're not a man because you cry. Well, anybody can test that. Like
right.
it's not a problem with me, you know. So I think that's a good idea, and like I said, do one with women too, with your wife. You know,
Yeah,
because
boy.
because right now there's a lot of shit going on in our country that people need to talk about. You know, there's a lot of shit going on, and you know, and just to be worried about the hamburger menu and stacked orders is, you know, this community is like 5 million people strong. That's a lot of motherfuckers, women
Wow.
and men, and women and men, and there's a lot of issues right now that are affecting women and men other than the hamburger menu and stacked orders. And, you know, and so I think a lot of that shit needs to be brought up. And I'm not afraid to bring it up. That's why I've been bringing it up, and I'm trying to get more people's input on it. And hopefully more people will pick up on it. And, you know, you can take credit for the fucking idea. I don't give a fuck about
No,
that.
I will
You know,
never do that. No, when I talk about it, I'm gonna say, look, I was on Roy, I was on Roy's last night, and this was brought up to me, and but what I am gonna do is when I bring it up, I'm gonna go ahead and be your hype man on that one because it bothers me. It bothers me that I enjoy this channel because of the content and what you're saying. I enjoy this. And I know there's a whole lot more people that enjoy it, but they're hiding behind something. Like they don't want to pledge allegiance. They don't want to pledge allegiance to Roy. Well, people, look, I pledge allegiance. That's why I'm right here on this split screen.
yeah.
You gotta get over, you
What?
gotta get over here and watch this stuff, man. Listen to this stuff, man. He's not stupid straight up, people. He's straight up with sense. There's a difference. There's a big difference.
Well,
Listen
I
to
think
it.
a lot of people don't want to jump on the band, or I wouldn't say bandwagon, but they don't want to jump in because they don't want to look like, because my persona in the gig world, and let's be fucking honest, and I know a lot of people won't say it because they think I'll go off on them and shit. I don't give a shit. People know I'm an asshole, and they know I'm not gonna sit there and sugarcoat shit for you. I'm not gonna pat you on your ass. And so I think a lot of people, they agree with what I have to say, but they don't want to come off as that asshole. They don't want people to look at him and say, "Oh, this guy's a secret asshole." But you know what I'm saying? They don't want that persona. They're afraid because a lot of, let's fucking face it, in this gig world and on YouTube in general, people worry about their image. I don't give a fuck about my image. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, I speak the truth, and I'm always going to speak the truth. I don't give a shit about my image. But a lot of these people, well, like you said, they're worried about the paycheck. They're worried about, you know, people looking at them differently, because if you come off looking like fucking woohoo, if you come out looking like Krusty the Clown, you know, and you're like all happy all the motherfucking time, you don't want to be associated with a guy that's an asshole. You don't want people to know that.
The
So.
secret asshole. He got his undershirt got a big essay on the front. It's just all right.
All right, well, all
I'm
right,
getting out
well,
of here, man. I'm getting out of here.
all right, I'm gonna let y'all go. I appreciate
Wait,
everybody
John,
coming in.
John did do a live stream about
Yeah.
mental health.
Oh yeah.
John. No, we ain't leaving you out, man. We ain't leaving you out. You ain't got the big essay under there, do you? You know what I'm saying? You know, you right there. You right there. We know you did that, but I'm out, Roy, because that was funny as hell. To see
All right.
what
Well, you guys be safe, and we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for coming in and having the discussion. I appreciate it.
yeah,
You
man.
guys have a good one. All right. Bye.